Just looking at the headlines and what is being reported, and then reading through everything that we see in the articles and the reports, paints an interesting picture for Venom Let There Be Carnage. While it's still a huge financial success and a giant win, some people are looking at the second weekend drop as a major disaster, which couldn't be further from the truth. Let's get to that. So as we covered previously, the opening weekend for Venom Let There Be Carnage was huge. The film made a ton of money, setting records, not just pandemic-era records, but records in general for the likes of October. And going into the second weekend, we already talked about the fact that the film was facing stiff competition, much more competition than the original film, which had nothing big or worth mentioning coming out in a few weeks after the original film's release. So the second weekend drop for Venom 2 was a 64% drop, making it slightly worse than Spider-Man Homecoming and Ant-Man and the Wasp, which again isn't that bad at all considering both of those films went on and made plenty of money. Now, what people are saying is that this is somewhat worse than the first film because again, shouldn't the sequel be making more faster? And again, it's all perception. It's a different time, different age, different willingness to go to a theater, repeat views, everything counts for it and against it. So you can't really attribute one thing to one film and then go backwards and look at it in a different way and, try to refine or redefine, I should say, what's applicable to one film from another. The major takeaway is that the film is still making money, and after 8 days is already looking to go into that 200 million bracket, which is not a small sum of money, all things considered. And you would have to think that just the opening weekend alone is a guarantee at a sequel, just by the sheer fact that this film will continue to make money, and already made major money securing streaming rights, and who's going to be able to distribute it and how fast. So this thing is profitable any way you look at it. And seeing some reports, which of course, the known naysayer over at Forbes, Scott Mendelson, is the one that's going to peddle that it's the worst thing ever and this film should just be discontinued. But for some reason, that guy just hates comic book movies despite wanting to talk about them. I don't get it, but I'm sorry to tell you, if you're looking for this film to bomb, it's not bombing. It's doing tremendously well. It's actually doing really well. And compared to the first film, it's right on par, if not better, depending on how you look at the metric. Is it going to meet the box office of the first film? Debatable. But in its own way, it's already surpassed the quality of the first film for many reasons, and it's already being looked forward to more than Venom 2 was after Venom 1, just by the sheer fact that we're basing that on the post-credit scene alone getting so much buzz.